Hey, how you doing? Justin back with you today to talk a little bit more about F chord and making chord changes to it. Some of you will be finding F chord kind of playable and be itching to move on a step, which will be making chord changes to the F chord. Some of you still be really struggling, in which case I've got a few more tips for you from things that I've been learning myself in my knit sudge practice. And the first thing of those is whether to put down the fingers first or the bar first. And I think what I've uncovered is actually the best way for me at this point is to put the bar down roughly, then put the fingers down and then readjust the bar. Okay, so definitely putting the fingers down first and then the bar I think has got a lot of merit, and that's why I'm not going to change the previous lesson about doing that. But once you've got the rough shape of it, what seems to be happening for the actual chord progressions when I'm starting to alternate F chord with another chord is that I'm putting the bar down roughly, then putting the fingers down where they should go and concentrating on their position, and then readjusting the bar to make sure that it goes in the right place. Now, this looks real easy for me. You know, I've been playing this F chord for probably near on 40 years now, which is a bit scary. But, you know, for me, it's pretty easy this way. If you watch my videos doing it left-handed, it's definitely not that easy. I know what you're going through, okay? I know F chord is difficult. Some of you are going to find it a lot easier to put the bar down first and then put the fingers down. Others are going to find that it's easier to put the fingers down first and then the bar. And both of those ways are totally fine. And this third method now, which is roughly putting the bar down, then put the fingers down and then adjust the bar before you do that final strum. All of those things are okay. So experiment a bit and see what's working well for you. That's my only tip really on the F chord, other than just practicing it. For me, I'm feeling like I'm getting the F chord now in the lefty practice. Not every time, but I can kind of do it, but I'm finding chord changes very difficult. I have started doing chord changes though, so if you're at the point where you can kind of do the F chord, I would recommend starting now to experiment with some chord changes. The most obvious one will be C to F chord, because those two chords get played together a lot. So just practicing going from the C chord, then putting the F chord down, either fingers first and then the bar or whatever's working for you, and give it a strum, and then lift them all off and go to the C chord, which you shouldn't find too difficult, and then trying to go to the F chord like that. F chord to G chord is also a great one, using the third and fourth fingers G. So either going F like this, and then trying to get those fingers separated to the G, and then back to the F, fingers, bar, there we go. Then trying to do that air change for the G chord and put on down. Just taking it real slow, but giving your fingers something to do in between the F chord practice. So you're not just doing F and then taking the hand off and then F. Try now changing to a chord. A minor to F is also a nice one. Start to look at the way your hand moves, the way your arm moves, because the more that you can observe and be kind of an impartial observer of what you're doing, the more things you'll notice. If you let the baggage of like, I've got to get it right, I've got to get it right, I've got to get it fast, all of that stuff to be going on and cluttering your mind space, you're not going to get the chord as good. So you want to be kind of sitting back, almost observing someone else doing it and taking note of what's going on. See the way that your wrist moves. Where's the pressure coming from? What's hard about the F chord? Definitely for me, one of the things that I've been working on when I've been doing the practice, I've been using this song Dreams by Fleetwood Mac because it's F to G all of the way through. I've been experimenting with going F major 7 to G for some of the song, then mini F to G for some of the song, and then full bar chord F to G for some of the song. But the full bar chord F to G, it's like I'm lucky if I can get to the F chord within the bar and strum it before I have to panic swap to the G again. But the practice of doing that is actually really helpful, and it's definitely accelerating how quickly I can reach the F chord. So once you've got the chord and you can play it and you can get all of the notes out, I would recommend starting to work on doing a chord change as part of that little 2-minute practice on the F chord that you should be doing at the start of your, not quite the start, but almost the start of your practice routine. You don't have to, but I would recommend it. And it depends. We're all going to be having different struggles on the journey here with the F chord. Some of you I know from the comments that I can see on the website, they're like, man, I can do the F chord. It's so much easier to do the big bar chord F than the mini F. lucky you, man. That's cool. I'm jealous. I'm finding the big F chord still quite a struggle, and many of you will be experiencing that too. If you are nailing it down and you want to start incorporating it into songs straight away, great. As soon as you're ready with the F chord, you can start plugging it into songs. Instead of using mini F, start using big F as soon as you can. The more you practice it, the better you're going to get at it. The sooner you can start working on real songs with real chord changes that you need to use, that's where it's going to become an effective tool. Okay, it's not something that you just want to practice forever before you start putting it into songs. You want to put it into songs as soon as you possibly can. But for many of you, that might not be yet. And that's okay too. You have to be forgiving yourself and realize that the F is the big hurdle. It's still pretty early days. I've given you this F chord early in the course so that you can be working on it and developing the hand strength, because I think that's the most effective way of getting to grips with that chord. So to summarize, the first thing I would recommend you spend a little bit of time experimenting with the finger order that you put them down. So either going fingers first, then bar, or bar, then fingers, or roughly the bar, then fingers, and then refine the bar placement. They're all good. It's going to be different for different people. So find the one that works for you, but do experiment and let me know in the comments actually which one's working for you, because it's just an interesting part of the social experiment here to figure out what's easy for some and what's hard for others. Do work on getting the chord changes as soon as you can. Okay, so if your chord is ready, start practicing doing the chord changes and try and incorporate it into a song if you can. It will be difficult. You'll probably find that it makes the chord all lumpy, but it will be worth it to practice doing that.